Hello guys, this is Rita, and unfortunately there won't be any shooting today because unfortunately I had broken my arrow rest. See, there's nothing here. So there's supposed to be a gadget here that allows the arrow to rest on top of it, which would be around right here. And now, as you can see, there's nothing. So what happened was I was just practice shooting, and just when I was about to switch on the camera, just before that, on my fifth arrow, the arrow went out, and on the way it took the arrow rest with it. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe because I didn't set up properly, or there was some defect with the arrow rest. But it is now that the coach in the range recommended I do not shoot from the shelf. He still thinks that I should get another arrow rest, which is screw down. That might be a better idea before I shoot with this bow again. So that's what I will be doing next, and when I do, I will try to show you guys what I have got. So this will be a learning experience for you as a beginner. Like, this kind of thing might happen if you use a cheaper arrow rest or some of the more expendable ones. This is what might happen. And so yeah, but you know, this is not to say this bow is no good or whatever. It's just that that component there may need to be upgraded from the original package, and the one that came with it was just meant for you as a beginner to experience using the bow and shooting with this kind of bow. And because I have been shooting pretty much every day ever since I got this bow, and that's quite a lot of arrows, and so yeah, so this kind of thing was bound to happen eventually. So I'm glad that it happened, so it allowed me to troubleshoot and practice what to do when this happens. So yeah, and so what can I do with the bow without my arrow rest, right? So because I have only just started to be comfortable with pulling the bow back, and obviously I want to keep up the practice, and I don't want to be deconditioned again. So yeah, so this is only a 22-pound bow, but if you shoot, like, if you keep drawing back and shooting for more than 1 hour, you're gonna feel it. So I would recommend any beginner that is looking to buy their first bow, they choose a light poundage bow, especially you have never done archery before, and or if you are less physically inclined person like me, because you see, usually I wear lots of clothes, but you see my arm. This is my arm. This is the arm that's holding this big ass bow, and this is the arm that is supposed to draw back this arrow, this bow, and shoot the arrow. So of course you are not only using the arm, you are also using your back muscle, and so yeah, so pretty much use your whole upper body, if not the whole body. So yeah, so you don't have to be a particularly strong person to do archery like me. You can, if your build is similar to me, or whatever, you don't feel very confident, I'm here to say you can do it. But do start with a light poundage bow. And this one is already slightly high. I mean, it's okay, but for beginner, maybe start with a 20-pound bow or less, maybe. Especially for the ladies. For the men, if they're it's still good to start with a low pound bow, but if you are feeling confident, maybe you can start around the 25-pound range as recommended by No Sensei. So yeah, so even if I don't shoot, I will still be doing this at home. And is this safe to do? Yes and no. It's safe as long as you don't let go of the string without an arrow knot. So when you pull back the string, you should never just let loose without an arrow knot. If you do that, that's called dry firing. And if you go to any archery store or range or any club, they will tell you the same thing. Do not dry fire your bow, because the bow, the bow limb, they are very tough bending this way, but not very tough bending the other way. They are not designed to handle this kind of pressure. So if you drive fire without an arrow, that means all the force that was meant to make the arrow fly towards the target, you saw me shoot or other people shoot, you can see the arrow flies very quickly, just phew, go straight to the target. You can hardly see it, and it stick in there quite hard, even with a low pound bow like this. And you generally need 2 hands to pull it out, or you need an arrow puller tool to help you pull it out more easily. So yeah, so the idea is that there's a lot of force, that is energy being stored when you pull the bow back, and then when you let it go, all that force gets transferred to the limb if you don't have an arrow, and that is not good for the bow. So if you love your bow, don't do that. Modern bow limbs are quite tough, so you might be able to get away with it if you done it by accident once or twice, but still is not recommended, because you never know what kind of damage it could have happened, especially for high draw weight bow. for this one, maybe it's alright because it's weaker limb, so the less the energy stored, the less powerful the damage will be done to the limb. But if you are dealing with a high pound bow like 40 or 50 or 60, 70, then it's probably quite dangerous actually. And especially for compound bows, those ones that comes with a lot of moving parts, a lot of gadgets and stuff on the bow, it would be very dangerous actually. Just maybe like an explosion. Like imagine having something explode less than 1 meter away from your face. That is quite dangerous, and you don't want that. And even if the damage is not immediately evident, there could be micro fracture in a limb that is hard to detect, and so maybe after right away you dry fire it, like, oh, nothing happened, see, still alright. But maybe after you shoot it next time, or next 10 arrow or whatever, then one day it just exploded on you, then and you were not prepared for it. So yeah, don't dry fire your bow. But can you do this without dry firing? If you are being careful about it and you let it go back very gently. So that means make sure your fingers are not slipping, are not slippery. So that's why I'm wearing a glove, like anti-slip glove. So my fingers are never slipping. And also you want to make sure, if you are doing this for workout or to practice, make sure you are not overexerting yourself. So because when you are overexerting, you become sloppy and you tend to make mistakes, and you don't want to do that. So always know your limit and stop before you get tired, and then you should be alright to do a few of these as practice to make sure you can keep up the conditioning even if you are not able to shoot for whatever reason. So yeah, that is my advice as a beginner. I got a lot of some of it is not personal experience, but I found out from my research and watching new sensei videos and or other archery YouTuber videos. So yeah. So I guess that's all for now. And while because this one is broken, of course I might not be able to shoot for it, but I might be able to use this opportunity to create some video about some of my personal experiences and recommendations, like this one. For example, I can talk about what things you should consider before buying your first bow. But of course, I am only limited to my experience, so don't take my words at face value, but do come to do your own research and try to see more sources. But I do try to be responsible and accurate as I provide the information. So yeah. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.